So in Halo 3 ODST, there is a secret city, and if you can somehow get to this, it actually unlocks a completely different map than what's intended. So, can we do it? Let's give it a shot! So in Halo 3 ODST, you are on the inner map of New Mombasa on the Mombasa Streets at nighttime. This inner city is completely designed and pretty large. Basically, everything that you see in it is a solid structure. However, outside of this inner city region that you're supposed to be playing in, there's an even larger part of the city of New Mombasa that you can explore. And doing this has a weird unintended effect. If you can get outside of the map, the mission Mombasa Streets will turn into an entirely different map. But that begs the question, how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to have to use mongooses. Mongoose? On the mission Mombasa Streets, there are what are called supply caches. In the supply caches lies the only vehicles that you can drive. Now our plan is to use these mongooses to get outside of the map. But we first have to take them to a very specific section of Mombasa Streets to be able to break out of the map. If you look at the Mombasa Streets map on your HUD, the locations of the mongooses will be located right where you see the green superintendent symbol. If you go up to what looks like a wall, a garage door will open and the mongooses will reveal themselves.
There's a mongoose on this map?
Yes, as you will come to find out.
I beat the whole game, I didn't know that.
Okay, the mongoose are in here, dude.
Oh.
Yeah. Upgraded the Shilt show, dude. We got some corn dogs rolling in. We got new tech. You know, you're taking a separate mongoose, bud. Okay, so we need to head down to Zone 9, which is at the bottom of this map here, at this yellow little marker. So to break out of the map, we are going to need to go to a very specific section of Mombasa Streets where there is a shield barrier. Now, the plan is to use our mongoose to launch up and out of the map. However, we need multiple mongooses to do this. If you can get outside of the map, the playable area is huge, and you are not going to want to walk that on foot. So our plan here is we're going to launch one mongoose outside of the map, and then we're going to use another mongoose to launch ourselves outside of the map. To do this, we need to drive the mongoose into this shield barrier corner where it meets the building. Okay, wait, I need to be...
Oh, dude, you playing on easy? What are you, an idiot?
Well, actually, that's a pretty good checkpoint. And luckily, I got a nice checkpoint, so we were pretty much already immediately ready to try to launch out of the map.
What the hell just happened? Why did I die?
Watch this. This is why you died. So in this corner at the ceiling, there is an elastic barrier. If you stick the back of your mongoose with a plasma grenade and then immediately jump on the top of it and try to line yourself up in the center, if you're standing still, you'll do it correctly, and if done correctly, you will go flying. But for this, I don't want to go flying. I need just enough height to be able to land on the invisible barrier on the top of the building that the mongoose is lined up against. I'm trying to get out of the map, but I need to go very slight. Actually, no, I should get out of the map first. No. Alex, come here. So in trying to launch out of the map, I encountered a dilemma. I needed both mongooses to eventually be outside of the map, which means that if I launched outside of the map first, there would still be two mongooses that needed to get outside of the map. Now we would eventually need to launch our first mongoose outside of the map, and to do that, you need at least two players. One singular grenade is not enough power to get the height that the mongoose needs to get all the way to the top of this building. So to pull this off, you have to throw two frag grenades underneath the mongoose so they explode at the same time. Then you need to have both players guide it to the right spot by shooting it mid-air with an SMG. I don't know if that's technically out of the map. Okay, we gotta do two. Actually, what if we just do like this and just throw it at the staircase? 3, 2, 1. Die. Did that go on the lower ledge up there?
No.
And went on the upper ledge on top of the building over here?
Yeah.
Now that we had one mongoose outside of the map, I now needed to launch outside of the map. But because our mongoose was already up there, I instructed my brother to go get a checkpoint. Not only do I need to get outside of the map, I need to make sure that the explosion from the plasma grenade isn't blowing up my mongoose. Because I also need this mongoose to be outside of the map, it needs to have enough health to be able to survive 2 frag grenade explosions to launch it out later. And later turned out to be now because I was able to do this on my first try. Now I had 2 other players in this lobby, one that I was controlling on a second laptop and my brother. In order to explore this map, we would just need to make sure this mongoose makes it up to the top without exploding. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Wrong direction.
We might have one more in this. 3, 2, 1. We did not have one more.
Perfect.
Okay, this should be good. The mongoose looks to be somewhat intact. Dude, I can't like... I'm getting like... I can't shoot after I throw a frag. I don't know if that's happening to you.
Takes a minute.
3, 2, 1. So on this attempt, the worst case scenario happened. We got a checkpoint with a mongoose that had already been fragged 3 separate times.
Oh, that's a terrible checkpoint.
Because we were already on the last step of the setup, we were now stuck with a flaming mongoose that we weren't sure if it would even be able to survive.
But it didn't blow up with one frag, so that's good.
Well, it now is flaming though.
See what blows up, I guess.
Regardless, we didn't have any other options, so we had to throw 2 frag grenades under it and hope that it didn't explode. If we could just get it to survive one singular time, none of this would matter.
Alright.
I ended up accidentally throwing one singular frag grenade without the countdown timer, and my brother actually saved the mongoose. He was able to levitate it all the way up to the top of the building.
I'm so good at this game.
Dude, it's beastly. Okay, now we're officially out of the map with Mongai.
It's Shilt Show.
Alright. To get out of the map, you need to drive on invisible ledges. That's always really scary. It's not real, guys. There's a barrier there.
I feel like we're in Tron. With all the colors and stuff.
There is a barrier there, though.
Ramped it, dude.
So when you get out of the map, the normal sections of the mission will deload entirely. We need to get
Are you drunk? Can you drive straight?
Dude, I'm looking in the air. The map floor will turn into a blank slate. And where you used to be able to walk around in the playable area, well, the Mombasa streets just don't exist after you do this.
Why is there a J tower, dude? Sorry, cut the mic. I got something to say.
Hey, look, it's a random phantom. Now it's gone.
Oh, there's a phantom right here. Oh, it's gone. Okay.
So this secret map / secret city is ginormous, to be quite frank. So for that reason, we have to explore it in sections. Now, the first section that we want to check out is the large group of skyscrapers outside of the playable area. So you can just go right up this.
Everything is solid.
There's a little bit of a bump here. Wonder if we can just go around it.
Yeah.
Oops.
Mongoose? Idiot.
It slopes downward so you can get on it. Nice.
Dude, turn off the HUD thingy. It is so dark, even with the headlights.
Dude, it is. It's like, I'm like squinting. As far as just go back.
You go with your mom, dude.
These buildings are solid.
Everything's solid here.
So weirdly, these same sets of buildings are on several maps throughout the campaign, but on Mombasa Streets, every single skyscraper in the background is real. Such an interesting choice to make everything out here solid.
Why don't you just like, dude, I'm just talking, just ramming into buildings so you're not even paying attention? It's such a interesting choice.
This one is not real.
It's true.
Where is the biggest real one? Okay. Ow.
Yeah, hopefully teach you a lesson.
Yeah, now I'm gonna have to hear this fucking beeping the whole time. Solid? Solid.
Solid, dude. Don't be alarmed. I think mine's getting more smoky. It's a little alleyway here.
Nice. Very bad city planning and design.
You know, they didn't really think about that when they make a new Mombasa.
They render all these graphics outside of the map, but when we played NMPD HQ, most of the buildings weren't real.
You know, I feel like the Halo series would have been even more popular if they had like cities that weren't called New Mombasa in the middle of Uganda, Africa, or whatever. Like I have absolutely zero interest in a place called New Mombasa.
Just because of the naming convention or because you're racist?
Because I'm not African. I don't know if you noticed, but Halo was made in America. You would think you'd have some like, well, like, I don't know, like Paris or something that actually people recognize.
Dude, there's pyramids out here, dude.
Where'd you go?
I've discovered the pyramids.
No, you didn't. I did. This is the end. This is the end, Mr. Chief. Are you lacking chromosomes? Dude, are you a cracker lacking?
So after we discovered that about 90% of all the skyscrapers outside of the map have collision, it was now time to see how far this map went. There's a giant smoking flame plume way in the distance, and we wanted to see if this was actually real. Could we get to it? Did you see how far I am over here?
I'm right behind you.
Yeah. Oh, actually you are.
Yeah, actually I am. Yeah, you want to? Yeah, I want to do a repeat of when you crash the ATV.
Yeah, it'll be like this. And then we flip.
So lucky I'm not dead today.
Dude, we were going 30 miles per hour in an open field.
30 miles per hour, and you hit with a freaking ATV that's a 4x4. It's gonna, size of a 4x4 is gonna kill you.
But yet we're both still here.
Let me hit you with a car going 30 miles an hour. Counterpoint. My ass really hurt when it hit the ground.
Counterpoint. You've taken things much, much faster speeds.
In
right to your ass.
Don't go in the light, dude. Don't do it.
I'm going into the light, dude. I feel like at any moment I'm just going to crash at full speed and blow up. I'm getting so close to the light, though.
Here, stop going and get behind me and look at what this looks like. See, that's a recreation of what happened. Now look at me.
Yes, guys, I crashed a four-wheeler when we were like 18 and 20. While we were both on it, it's fine.
Never told anyone about it.
We never told anyone. We just pretend like it didn't happen. We pretend like one of the wheels wasn't a little messed up.
I'm like, you good? Yeah. You good? Yeah. We lay there for a minute because we're both making sure we're not dead and it hurts like hell. We're like, we're not telling Rob. Okay. We slid really far.
It was actually kind of fun. Like, in retrospect, remove the almost dying element.
I think I'm actually going to get to the...
Dude, this is crazy. They're actually going to let us go to the light.
This isn't almost heaven, dude. We're going to heaven.
I'm so close. I'm so close.
The wall. I guess it is almost heaven.
Okay, can we get near the space elevator now? So one thing that occurred to me pretty late in this adventure was that the space elevator was actually outside of the map and we might be able to reach it. Okay, we're about 5,000 meters away from the map. So only about half of what we did last week.
Give me tips so I can afford to take my girlfriend out for dinner and get my hair cut once a month. Thank you.
Everyone, please, that is actually a call to fund his Asian wife that he will be purchasing. His Vietnamese wife. Everyone, can we get donos in the chat? We're buying a new member of the show.
We're buying me a wafu, dude.
Dude, we might actually be able to go right all the way to this elevator. So I've covered this in a previous video, but on the mission Uplift Reserve, the space elevator is also outside of the map. But on that mission, you can only touch a portion of the base and it's not solid. Because we were able to go 5,000 meters in one direction from the city center, this gave us hope that we might just be able to explore this entire thing. I love how this is a 2D texture that is randomly glowing, but the 2D glowing effects are glowing right onto the space elevator.
Dude, do you ever talk about anything other than 2D and 3D, dude? Why don't you get into 1D?
How?
I don't know.
How would I can't even conceptualize 1D.
You can't. It's a piece of paper, dude.
Yeah, but a piece of paper still has an edge. I'm just living on a piece of paper?
You ever read a comic book?
But.
No.
What about the hypotenuse?
There's no hypotenuse on this caboose,
A squared plus B squared equals C squared, man.
Where is that written? Where?
It's in the Old Testament, dude.
No, it's not. I've read the Old Testament. The Old Testament book says hypotenuse, rubber goose, guava juice, giant snake, birthday cake.
Large fries, chocolate shake.
Shake. There we go.
And behind the textures. Dude, please be solid. Please be solid. Look at these pyramids in the distance. This is either a giant dragon.
What do you mean look at it in the distance? I'm at them. But to run into one. No, it's really, really low poly. I'm almost inside the space elevator.
We love the low poly.
I'm inside the space elevator.
Dude, I'm gonna need to wait.
I'm getting out my mongoose. I'm looking up.
I'm gonna launch to the top of it, dude. I don't care.
The black hole. What?
So I'm gonna try to launch all the way up. I don't care that it's not solid. I
Go
want
ahead,
to,
dude.
dude.
Right.
The view actually going up it would be freaking sick. Can't
Go ahead,
believe
dude.
they actually. These guys are awesome. Oh, dude, this is gonna be magnificent, glorious. Okay, I need you to kill me. At this point, I set up my mongoose directly in the middle, beneath the center of the space elevator. I wanted to see if I could launch up into the rungs, but because I had low health, I had to have my brother kill me first. Alex, run me over. Did you just miss?
I got scared, dude.
Going up. Jesus Christ. The Son of God, have you heard of him?
I have heard of this guy.
I made it up level 1.
Good job.
I don't think I can come even close to freaking...
Your last death in RuneScape is how you'll die in real life. How will you die?
I think it was probably in the Slayer Cave by, like, where you do the Berserker shit. I forget what it's called. Okay, I only made it up 1 level. And it looks like I'm actually very significantly higher than the skyscrapers that we were just on.
Chat, play back the film. Did you say skyscrapers?
I did.
Idiot.
That's about the highest I can get up. So in trying to launch up these elevator rings, I was going pretty much the highest that I could possibly go with a mongoose launch. I was even going significantly higher than the skyscrapers in the map. For this reason, I decided to give up on this and explore the next area of interest. On this map, there is a train rail, and I've always wondered, is it possible to drive on this? Is it even real? Well, we're about to find out.
You bunch of poor people can't even give me enough money to afford a gold-plated Tesla, dude. Come on. Come on. Open those wallets. Grab your mom's credit card. Send me $100. Then maybe I'll reply to your comment. Just maybe. Might grace you with my presence. I'm taking a shit and I'm like, I should reply to some comments.
In order to get to this train track, I had to find a way up the outside stadium area containing the Mombasa Streets. In order to get back in the map, you have to go all the way around because there's a drop, and the drop is too far to survive because you'll die to fall timer.
Are you excited for the new remake of Halo CE where we can sprint?
Ultimately, I'm kind of excited for that game to come out because I think I will get more views, but past that, I think it's stupid. And I just fell off a giant cliff.
Well, there's three new missions, prequel.
Yeah, I'm excited about the 3 new missions, but like past that, I'm kind of like, why even play it?
So I don't know. It might be cool. It might feel like. Well, they're redoing all the voices, the same lines that they're redoing the voices. Anybody
with low testosterone loves the direction of Halo, and anybody with high T doesn't. And why the sprint? Why can't they just f***ing let it go? That's my problem. Is like they're just holding this over Halo fans' heads. They will not give it up, no matter what, bro.
Sprint? You don't like sprint?
No, I don't like sprint. And they just, I don't know. I really don't expect them to do much with the trick mechanics. Okay, I made it all the way around the city track. Holy, that took forever.
When are we streaming?
Dude, you can. Check it out, bro. I'm driving on the train track.
I'm coming, dude. I'll be there in 5 to 20 minutes.
Where am I going? Oh. Dude, these train tracks go to 2 different spots. There's a tunnel?
It's pretty cool.
Bro.
Dude,
Bungie was actually goated, man. There's no light textures for this back wall. Dude, what? There's like a crack here, too?
This is... You could like have a whole ass... You could
have a whole ass race on
this.
this. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Some modder needs to get on this.
I ran out of headlight fluid, though. For our last piece of exploration on this map, I wanted to see if I could use the mongoose to launch on one of the skyscrapers that's outside of the normal playable area. So what I did was I took my mongoose to the base of one of these, and then I parked it about 25 feet away. I waited for a checkpoint, and once I got it, my plan was now simple. Instead of just trying to launch up to one of these skyscrapers, what I wanted to do was I wanted to use the mongoose to launch and hit one of the skyscrapers, bounce off, and then land on another skyscraper. But I didn't even know if this was possible, and now it was time to see if I could pull it off. Oh, so close. Ooh. Oh my god. That was almost the sickest thing ever, dude. Oh my god, so close.
Hey, Tone, this guy named Mr. Beast, he wants me to do a 100-day challenge with Chrissy for $500,000. But, Tone, I'm a little concerned. What if we, like, fall in love and start kissing and stuff? I want to kiss your nephew, Tone.
I made it! I literally did a no look on that. The double skyscraper bounce. Done.